Imagine ordinary men, tired, covered in dust, with worn sandals and heavy shields, advancing silently while the enemy shouts, runs, and becomes disorganized. Imagine realizing in a few seconds that you are not facing individuals, but something far worse, a structure that feels no fear, does not hesitate, and does not break easily. This is how many ancient armies discovered too late that the true power of Rome lay not in brute force, but in something invisible, repeated every day until it became instinct. In this story, you will understand how Roman discipline transformed ordinary men into the most feared war machine of antiquity, and why, when that discipline failed, the result was always catastrophic. If you've ever wondered how ordinary men managed to face larger armies, survive impossible battles, and march without hesitation toward danger, this video will completely change the way you see the power of Rome. Here you will discover what truly transformed a simple recruit into part of the most feared war machine of antiquity, and why that same discipline could save or condemn thousands of lives in a few minutes. If this kind of story captivates you, makes you imagine each scene, and understand the past beyond the books, leave a like now and subscribe to the channel, because the next chapter reveals the moment when this machine began to fail, and the price was too high to ignore. They weren't born giants. They didn't have superhuman bodies. They didn't wield magical weapons. They didn't fight driven by blind fury. In the beginning, they were ordinary men from the countryside, from cities, from poor families, some without any real combat experience. Yet, when they marched together, the world seemed to shrink before them, because the true power of Rome was not in muscles, but in discipline, a discipline so profound that it transformed ordinary individuals into the most feared war machine of antiquity. Before Rome, other peoples already knew organized warfare. Greeks, Persians, Macedonians. They all had tactics, formations, and brilliant leaders. But Rome did something different. It took warfare and transformed it into a system. A repeatable, predictable system, trained to exhaustion. A system where each soldier knew exactly what to do, even when chaos took over the battlefield. The Roman legionary didn't rely on inspiration. He relied on routine. From day one, he learned that survival wasn't a matter of individual courage, but of obeying simple, clear, and immediate commands. Advance. Stop. Turn. Form. Hold the line. Each order was short, direct, impossible to confuse, even amidst the noise of shouts, clashing metal, and falling bodies. This training wasn't symbolic. It was physical, mental, and psychological. Marches of dozens of kilometers carrying extreme weight. Daily construction of fortified camps, even in safe territory. Repeated exercises to the point of exhaustion. The goal wasn't just to strengthen the body, but to break the mold. The soldier needed to react automatically, without thinking, without hesitating. Thinking in battle was a dangerous luxury. Over time, something changed. The legionary ceased to see himself as an individual and began to see himself as part of a larger structure. His shield not only protected himself, but also the man beside him. The sword was not used for isolated heroic acts, but to maintain collective pressure. If one fell, another took his place. The line could not be broken, because when the line broke, death came quickly. And that was precisely what terrified Rome's enemies. Not brute force, but the feeling of facing something that didn't react like ordinary humans. While other armies shouted, advanced furiously, and easily fell apart, the legions remained cohesive, silent, advancing step by step as if nothing could stop them. Roman discipline also allowed for something rare in the ancient world: rapid adaptation. If a tactic failed, the formation changed. If the terrain was unfavorable, the order was adjusted. The centurion, a key piece of this machinery, transmitted commands that everyone understood instantly. There was no discussion. There was no doubt. Trust in the hierarchy was absolute because it had been tested hundreds of times in training. Now I want to know from you. In your opinion, was this extreme discipline the greatest secret to Rome's success, or did it end up turning soldiers into disposable pieces of a ruthless system? Leave your comment below, because the best answers always lead to future videos. And if you don't want to miss any of these stories that reveal the most real, human, and frightening side of antiquity, subscribe to the channel and activate the bell now. That way you'll receive each new chapter the moment it's released. But this discipline came at a high price. The legionary lived under strict rules. Mistakes were severely punished. Disobedience could mean whippings, public humiliation, or death. The infamous decimation, where 1 in 10 men was executed to restore order, was not common, but its mere existence kept everyone on constant alert. The fear of punishment went hand in hand with a sense of duty, and yet many accepted, because Rome also offered rewards. Regular wages, land upon completion of service, social status, citizenship. Discipline wasn't just coercion, it was a contract. You obeyed, and Rome took care of you. Break that pact, and you would be abandoned without mercy. On the battlefield, this logic became devastating. Larger, more numerous, more passionate armies often collapsed before the legions. Not because they were weaker, but because they could not maintain cohesion under constant pressure. When the enemy advanced, Rome held back. When the enemy tired, Rome advanced. When a breach appeared, it was exploited without hesitation. There was also the psychological factor, facing soldiers who did not retreat easily, who maintained formation even under a hail of projectiles, undermined enemy morale. Many accounts speak of armies that began to flee even before hand-to-hand combat. Roman discipline created the illusion of invincibility. And in war, perception is often as powerful as reality. But it wasn't perfection. When discipline failed, disaster was absolute. Broken formations generated panic. The soldier trained to act as a team became vulnerable alone. This was the case in historical defeats, where entire legions were massacred not for lack of bravery, but because the system collapsed. Rome's strength was collective, and so was its weakness. Even so, for centuries, this model worked. Discipline allowed Rome to control vast territories, confront diverse enemies, and survive profound internal crises. It transformed ordinary men into something greater than themselves. Not individual heroes, but conscious cogs in a relentless machine. And perhaps that's why, even today, the Roman army fascinates so much. Not because it was invincible, but because it showed something unsettling. When order is absolute, when the individual submits completely to the system, extraordinary and terrifying things become possible. Now tell me in the comments, do you think this extreme discipline was Rome's greatest virtue, or the seed of its own dehumanization? If this kind of story makes you see the past differently, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and stick around. Because in the next video, we're going to talk about the exact moment when this discipline began to fail, and the price was paid in blood. The video shows how discipline was the true secret that transformed ordinary men into the most feared legions of antiquity. Through extreme training, standardized commands, and absolute obedience, Rome created a military system capable of facing larger enemies and adapting to any challenge on the battlefield. At the same time, it reveals the dark side of this model. When discipline failed, the collapse was total, and the price paid in lives was brutal. If this story has made you see Roman warfare in a different light, don't let this experience end here. By subscribing to the channel, you'll be able to follow a series of videos that reveal the secrets, flaws, and decisions that shaped empires and destroyed entire armies. Leave a like to show that this type of content deserves to continue being produced, and activate notifications so you don't miss the next chapter. Because in the next video, we'll delve into the exact moment when Roman discipline begins to crumble. And when that happens, history changes forever.